There's a white-hot anger, as I mentioned at the top of the show, inside Melbourne's retail sector over the Andrews government's COVID roadmap. Under the plan, general retailers are only allowed to open on Friday for outside trade. Otherwise, they have to wait until vaccinations hit 80% in terms of the double dose. Now, it's left a lot of businesses, small and large, scratching their heads, with many saying they've got no choice but to keep their doors closed until well into next month. For her reaction, I want to bring in the General Manager of the Chapel Street Precinct, Chrissie. She joins me now. Well, Chrissie, it's fine for some shops, I suppose, but, you know, if you're selling women's clothing, I don't think people will stand out there on the footpath and strip off and try on a pair of jeans or a new bra, God forbid. I mean, how are you supposed to do this when you've got hairdressers and everybody else allowed to have people inside, but not retail?
I don't know about you, Peter, but I would prefer not to try my shoes on in the gutter. So the decision is frustrating. It's cruel. I'm not sure he talked to his wife before he thought about his wife stripping down in the street, and ironically, trying on a dress in the street you'll probably catch a cold from that. Anyone that was sitting in that room, and I imagine it like a board of directors, and if a board of directors made this decision, I truly believe they wouldn't be discharging their liabilities and acting in the best interest of their stakeholders, which is us, because it doesn't make sense. Like, I love that thought of like looking around the room going, is everyone signing off on this? Because this makes zero sense.
Well, that was like remember last year they said that haircuts could only be 10 minutes. Women and men had to be in and out of a salon in 10 minutes. And I raised an alarm within 24 hours to say, I mean, clearly these blokes haven't watched their wives or their girlfriends and their daughters get a haircut, because nothing happens in a women's salon in 10 minutes. But why are we allowed to have 10 people in the home? You'd have 10 people in the home as of Friday, but nobody in retail. The inconsistencies, I think, is what's making people so angry.
Oh, and so exceptionally frustrated, so exceptionally angry, on top of being inside for so long. So you mix that in with a bit of a cocktail of mental clarity for everyone. And I think people wanted to make changes and were excited to open. And even me yesterday, people keep saying to me, are you excited, Chrissie, about Freedom Friday? And I said, everybody just needs to stop for a second. Friday is not Freedom Friday. We do not have a retail sector that is about to open. We are letting people go to the horse races. There are decisions being made all over the place that are not fair or equitable or even common sense. That's why I'd love to have been sitting in the room where that happened to go, yes, tick that box, give that guy a cigar, because that is the answer. Because, of course, it's absolutely bloody ridiculous.
So if they're not talking to people like you, Chrissie,
no,
who is the government, who are the ministers consulting with when they bring in these roadmap changes?
I'm not sure you would have studied the roadmap like I did, but you and I could have put that together on Sunday morning in 10 minutes. They've had so long to do this. I can absolutely tell you, as the representative of over 2,000 businesses in Melbourne, as in fact the biggest trader association in Australia, we have absolutely not been consulted with. And do you know the reason why they haven't? Because we're not fools. If they had floated this with us, I actually would have laughed. And that's why that first question about outdoor trading to me is actually hilarious, because when I first read it, I thought, oh my God, he must be on the beers when he made that decision. It's actually pretty heartbreaking, to be honest, as well. Like, I wanted to be happy about Friday and I wanted everyone to have some joy, but I can't be happy, Peter, when what's happening is so cruel, like so cruel.
Look, I couldn't agree more. And, you know, Melbourne is such an inclement, changeable sort of climate. It's a bit like the outdoor dining. It might work north of the Murray. It just doesn't work so well here in Victoria. Well, when do you think you will be open? It will be more likely after Cup Day.
Yeah, but I don't know about you. I just don't trust anything that comes out of his mouth anymore. And you're right, not many of our businesses will open on Friday. Like, I've had some other journalists ask me, you know, let's cover some 12 midnight openings. And our businesses, you know, they've been there 5 times before. And they're not going to be opening with the density quotas. It is inequitable for them. And I think the biggest point, Peter, that I wanted to make with you tonight, which is black and white, is the fact that that hospitality sector that's opening up on Friday, they've been getting week by week grants by the government. The hospitality sector may have got one grant if they were lucky. So if we really put two and two together, we don't have to be fools to know why that sector is opening, because the tap's turning off. And I try to be positive about Friday, and I want to, you know me as a leader, I'm usually so positive, but I feel so angry that he has kept this little bit of control, and clearly the frustration. And like, if you and I had been running that roadmap, there would have been clear communication. We have so many businesses that are calling me today, asking me about density limits, asking me about this person who has to stand at the front door as a COVID marshal, asking me for all the answers like I'm controlling the state. And like, you and I would have put this into a roadmap that morning. I mean, we could have had a few champers the night beforehand and still done it better. I just don't understand.
I've got to leave it there. But you're talking far too much common sense. Maybe you should be running the state. Watch out, go into politics. I'm back to 100%. Thank you for your time, as always.
Thank
well
you,
done on
Lisa.
your fighting in the last few months as well.